there, friends. Rebecca here, the Dragon Librarian from Farmington Community Library. And Gallie and I are here today to talk to you about a book that we're really excited about. It's one that we had really not heard of before, and it's been out for a little while, so it's not a new book, but it's one that we just happened to come across actually while we were looking for something else. And I thought, this looks really cool. The cover really drew me in. And then when I found out what this story was about, I really wanted to read further, and I'm so glad I did, because I absolutely loved this book. Isn't it just so much fun when you stumble across a book that you've never heard of before, and it just kind of catches your eye, and you're like, you know what, I want to give this a shot, and then you do, and it's amazing? Isn't that just the best feeling in the world? I love that feeling, and that is what happened to me with this book. So before we get started talking about this book, I just want to ask, have you heard of the story The Wizard of Oz? Maybe you've read some of the books in the book series, or maybe you've seen one of the many movies or theatrical productions about it. And if you have, this story is probably going to sound a little bit familiar, because this book is called Ages of Oz. Ages of Oz. Now, this is the first book in a series, okay? The first one is called A Fiery Friendship. So this is Ages of Oz, A Fiery Friendship. Look at how cool that cover looks. There's just a lot going on there, right? Now, the book is technically written by Lisa Fiedler. However, up here it says Gabriel Gale's Age of Oz, right? Which is like, well, that's kind of interesting. What's going on with that? So Gabriel Gale is apparently a historian of Oz, and he's the one that retold this story to Lisa Fiedler, the author, and she wrote it down. And he even has this really cool little letter in the very beginning of the book that talks about, you know, why he's talking about this story. And I just want to read one little tiny part of it because I think this is super interesting. Know this. Before you have finished reading this letter, 100,000 magical things will have occurred in Oz. Some of them good and some of them wicked. That is the part that never changes. In conclusion, whatever you've heard about Oz is just the story, but what I am about to unveil to you is the truth. That's pretty cool, right? It's super exciting. So maybe you are not familiar with The Wizard of Oz. And if you are not, that's totally okay. You really honestly don't have to go into this knowing anything about the Wizard of Oz story. I mean, I think it really enhances the enjoyment of it. I'm not going to lie, because it will... it takes you into the land of Oz, which is this wonderful, magical place. You learn about different races that live there, like the Winkies and the Munchkins and stuff like that. And most importantly, there are 4 wicked witches, because this book takes place before the Wizard of Oz story. So you could say that it's a prequel. And it actually, the main character of this book is Glinda the Good Witch. Before we know her as Glinda the Good Witch, she's just a girl in this story. She's just starting out on her adventure. So that's why I said you really don't have to have a lot of previous knowledge about the story, because it's technically a prequel. I do think that if you love The Wizard of Oz, if you love the movie or you love the books, then you will definitely 100% enjoy this. But I think that this has a lot to offer, even to those people that are coming to the Oz story for the first time. So what is this book about with Glinda being a young girl? So basically, she is about to graduate from the school that she's going to. And in this book, the world of Oz is divided up into areas that the witches rule. So the area that Glinda is living in is the area of the Wicked Witch of the South, named Ophindia. And she rules this whole world. And basically, she controls what path you take when you go out of the school. And there's only 4 that you're allowed to take when you're a girl. You can either be a seamstress, you can be a chambermaid, you could be a nurse, and you can be a governess. And that's all. You only have those 4 paths chosen for you, and you're not allowed to deviate from that. Well, on the day that Glinda is supposed to graduate, something else happens. Her mother is actually arrested for performing magic, which is illegal. The only people allowed to perform magic are the witches. And there are some other creatures called fairies that perform magic, but nobody really knows anything about them because nobody has gone up against the witches in a very long time. So Glinda has to set off on this quest, on this magical journey to try to rescue her mother. And of course she gets some friends along the way. She's got this girl named Lacosta, who's this like fiery rebel girl who's going to help her. She's got this boy named Ben who's coming with her too. She's got this other girl named Shade. So she has this little team that goes with her on this adventure to rescue her mother. So the way I'm thinking this is going to be is that each book in the series is about Glinda and her friends taking on another of these evil witches. So this book is about the Evil Witch of the South. The second book in the series I haven't gotten to yet, but the second book is called The Dark Descent. And I'm assuming that this is going to be talking about now a different witch that they're going to take down. So this is the first book, A Fiery Friendship. A Dark Descent is book number 2. So definitely start with this one. And like I said, I thought it was super fun, magical adventure. I love stories about friendship and, you know, joining together. And then there's really beautiful illustrations throughout this book too. These beautiful black and white illustrations. I just think they're absolutely wonderful. And, you know, before Glinda's mother is taken, she lets Glinda know that she has magic in her too, and she can pick a different path than the one that was set out for her. Super exciting stuff. You know, you've got the Chosen One story with friendship and danger and magic. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, if it's got a definite added bonus, if you love The Wizard of Oz or if you're familiar with the story, and even if you're not, I think there's something here for everyone to love. Ages of Oz, A Fiery Friendship. Well, that's what we've got for you guys today. I hope that this book sounds really interesting and that it might be a series you want to get started. If so, please feel free to come check it out from Farmington Community Library. It is available there. And also, thank you so much for watching, my friends. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.